So you're getting ready to head to the Philippines. You found your perfect Filipina online. You've been chatting. You've been sending her money. You're going to marry her, get her a visa, and come back to the States and live happily ever after, right? Wrong. This video is going to be about all the mistakes that foreigners make, not all of them, but a lot of mistakes that foreigners make before they take that trip to the Philippines and what you absolutely want to avoid. Now, there are so many mistakes that I see foreigners constantly making over here in the Philippines, but we're going to turn this video into a little bit of a story, and that is because I have an acquaintance that I know back home in the US, and he is making all the wrong decisions. I'm going to make sure that you don't fall into the same trap. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Jimmy, and this channel is about getting foreigners prepared for life in the Philippines. Whether it's your first time over or you're relatively new, whether you're going to stay long term or just for vacation, I'm getting you the information that you need to know because it's going to be total culture shock when you're here. So as we jump into it, go ahead and smash the like button for us and subscribe to the channel. We are going to build a fantastic community here, and we would love to have you be a part of it. So like and subscribe, and let's get into this story because I have an acquaintance back in the US. I was back in the States a few months ago, and this acquaintance was planning on heading to the Philippines in June, which, as this is recorded, that's just a couple weeks away. And he knows that I've been in the Philippines back and forth for a long time, and he was very interested in my perspective. But no matter what I told him, he was dead set on these decisions. We're going to talk about them so that you can avoid all these mistakes that could be absolutely devastating. You do not want to make them. So, first of all, you're going to hear this on all the channels, but I feel an obligation to repeat it. Do not send money to your Filipina girlfriend online or to anyone online before you've met them in person. And I know that this can be tempting, right? Because you think you're in love and you have this relationship, you feel this connection, but I'm here to tell you, you do not know that person nearly as well as you think you do. And in a lot of instances, as I've touched on in other videos, you're going to land here and you're going to find that you may like someone else even better. So, but the biggest thing is the scams. A lot of Filipinas, they're acting as girlfriends online, and then you may think you're her boyfriend, but she also is collecting money from 5 other people at the same time. Now, that's not the case with most Filipinas. Most Filipinas are loving, generous, and wonderful. I'm just making you aware of some of the scams that go on right here in the Phils. So, number one, if you don't learn anything else from this video, do not be sending money to your Filipina girlfriend before you've met her in person. After you've established a relationship, different story once you've met in person. But beforehand, All right. So then definitely don't commit to marriage. Basically, my friend, I'm obviously not going to use his real name, but so we'll just call him Brad. And Brad is going to be touching down in the Philippines for the first time. And he has met a woman, and I have to give him some credit here. It's age-appropriate relationship. She's in her 40s. He is right around 60. He's getting close to where he can start collecting Social Security and living in the Philippines, which is what a lot of you guys are planning to do, and it's great. But so let's just say, we'll just call him Brad, and Brad is getting ready to come in June. He's been talking to this Filipina for about 8 months, sending her money, and he plans to come over here, bring her back to the U.S., get a visa, which he's not going to be able to do anyways. Getting a visa to the U.S. for your Filipina is extremely difficult right now. And he also wants to buy a house. So let's talk about this a little bit. Oh, and he wants to marry her. I can't leave that out. He wants to marry her. Now, imagine someone that you have never met in person and you're going to marry this woman. I mean, from a logical standpoint, just sit back And think about that for a second and how flippin' crazy that sounds. Now, what I personally think happens is when people enter their older age, they start getting a little desperate and afraid to die alone, and therefore they rush into decision making and they get this pretty wonderful Filipina online, and then they make all kinds of terrible choices. So he's pretty much committed to marriage at this point, which is a terrible idea because, again, he's never even met the woman in person, but then he wants to bring her back to the US and get her a visa. Now, if a Filipina asks you for a visa online, that is a huge, huge red flag, and you should consider running from that relationship. I'm just going to tell you right now because Filipinos just don't do that before they've ever met you, and so they're gonna. That's the plan anyway. There's no way he's going to be able to get that done. But the other big thing that he wants to do is he wants to buy a house in the Philippines, and I'm very interested in your guys' thoughts on this. So drop a comment down below because I cannot find out. This goes for every foreigner. I cannot find out any good reason why you would want to buy a house here in the Philippines. I have heard so many just tragic stories of foreigners buying a house here and then just losing their entire life savings. So if you don't know already, you can legally buy a house here in the Philippines, but you cannot own the land under it. So your Filipino wife is going to own the land under it, and when she decides that she no longer wants to be with you, you're out. And the house doesn't matter. She's keeping the house. You're gone. You're going to lose your entire savings. There's a ton of stories about it. I'm sure we will talk about it a lot more on this channel. But drop me a comment down below or shoot me an email if you have if you've had a similar experience or know someone who has. But I just, for the life of me, cannot figure out a single reason why anyone would want to own a home in the Philippines. You don't own the land under it, and renting is perfectly fine. You can go anywhere you want. You can rent the same house for potentially 20 years, and it gives you the option to move around. Renting is a phenomenal option here, and that is what I strongly recommend. But the takeaways from this video, he's sending money to his Filipina before he's even met her in person. Big red flag. He's committed to getting her a visa back to the US before ever meeting her. Huge red flag. He's committed to marrying her. Okay, now we're getting out of our minds onto another planet here. And he's planning on buying a house here. Keep in mind, this guy has never even set foot in the Philippines before. Who knows if he's going to even be able to adjust to the culture. So these are a few of the things that you need to avoid. There's a lot more, and I'll come out with a video on the absolute don'ts before you get here. But we're doing a new topic pretty much every day on this channel. So definitely, once again, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Thank you so much for joining the family. I'm Jimmy, Practical Philippines, and I will be out with another hot topic for you real soon.